Lawful nationwide injunctions by radical left judges could very well lead to the destruction of our country. These people are lunatics who do not care even a little bit about the repercussions from their very dangerous and incorrect decisions and rulings. Lawyers endlessly search the United States for these judges and file lawsuits as quickly as they find them. It is then the obligation of law-abiding agencies of government to have these orders overturned. The danger is unparalleled. These judges want to assume the powers of the presidency without having to attain 80 million votes. They want all of the advantages with none of the risks. Again, a president has to be allowed to act quickly and decisively about such matters as returning murderers, drug lords, rapists, and other such type of criminals back to their homeland or to other locations that will allow our country to be safe. It is our goal to make America great again, and such a high aspiration can never be done if radical and highly partisan judges are allowed to stand in the way of justice. Stop nationwide injunctions now before it's too late. If Justice Roberts and the United States Supreme Court do not fix this toxic and unprecedented situation immediately, our country is in very serious trouble. So the general message here is obvious. Trump is addressing all of these corrupt judges that are getting in the way of his administration, acting illegally, unconstitutionally, in my view, and most constitutional scholars and lawyers agree. They're totally acting illegally and unconstitutionally, but it shows that they're not really judges, they're activists. They're Democrat Party plants and activists just posing as a judge, and now they're being activated in their real role, which is to stop the Trump administration and to pretend like they're some elected body to act as an executive when they're not. Now, it was yesterday when the injunction numbers came out, and it turns out since the year 2000, it's like 90% of injunctions against all the presidents are against Donald Trump. So that's 8 years of Obama, 8 years of Bush, 4 years of Biden. 80% of the injunctions from the bench are coming against Trump. So clearly it's political persecution. The numbers bear it out. But you don't even have to look at the numbers. These judges are stopping common sense stuff, deporting criminal aliens, deporting violent criminals, gang members, stopping waste, fraud, and abuse from being exposed and shut down with DOGE. It's just outright corruption. So now, because Chief Justice Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett are an embarrassment, but now he's calling out Justice Roberts specifically because these cases are going to have to go to the Supreme Court. So he's applying that pressure now, knowing probably that Roberts' plan was to screw him anyway, which he's done in the past. But, it's just nuts. So it's clear what needs to happen. Jim Jordan said it. I hope he follows through, but it's clear what needs to happen. You have to call these judges to testify. If you can't get them impeached, and maybe you can't because you don't have the votes, okay, then you have to call them to testify. And you have to say, why don't you want criminal aliens that are rapists, murderers, gang members deported? Why? What's your legal standing? Why are you against DOGE exposing 3.2 million deceased people on Social Security? Why are you against that? Let's see you testify under oath. Why? All the other fraud, waste, and abuse DOGE is exposing that they're all trying to shut down. Let's get them to testify under oath as to why they don't like it and why they're getting in the way unconstitutionally of it. Because that's what's going to happen. This is eventually going to have to end up at the Supreme Court. Trump already knows it. But see, that's why it's a tag team effort. That's why you need the Republicans to be all in as well so that they can kind of help finish the job here. But ultimately, we have to, you can't vote out these federal judges because they're appointed, but I don't know. You gotta get them to testify. You gotta get the American people to understand these judges are acting unconstitutionally, but even worse, if it could be worse, they're protecting criminal activity. So by my measurement, these judges are corrupt. These judges are criminal, and they need to be exposed and treated as such.